Lyndon Baines Johnson of Texas was a high school teacher and then a congressional aide and then a congressman, member of the House of Representatives, and then a senator, and then the vice president, and then the president. So he had quite the life. So Lyndon Johnson was first elected to the United States. So he won the election to the United States House of Representatives in 1937. There's actually a picture of him and FDR together. Maybe I'll make that thumbnail of this video. Anyway, Johnson won the election to the United States Senate in 1948, the same year that President Harry Truman defeated Governor Robert Dewey of New York. And Lyndon Johnson became the Senate Majority Whip in 1951, and then he became the leader of the Democrats of the Senate in 1953. He was the minority leader for, I believe it was about 2 years, or maybe it was, yeah, but anyway, he was minority leader for a while. And then, of course, the Democrats gained the majority, so Lyndon Johnson was the majority leader. Anyway, the thing about Lyndon Johnson is that he was known for his domineering personality. They called it the Johnson treatment, where he would use aggressive coercion of powerful politicians to get his agenda passed. And that came in handy when he was president, obviously. Now, in 1960, Lyndon Johnson ran for the Democratic nomination for president. Now, he did not succeed. He failed, but that he lost to Senator John Fitzgerald Kennedy of Massachusetts. Now, during the campaign, Johnson had entered a little bit later in the election cycle, literally in July of 1960, which is really, really late. And so Johnson made his campaign about attacking Kennedy for his health problems, as well as being pretty young and failure to take a position on Joseph McCarthy and all of that. And he's formed a Stop Kennedy coalition with Adlai Stevenson and Humphrey and a few others. But that coalition failed, and well, things didn't go very well for Johnson, and Kennedy ended up winning the nomination. However, now there's a few discrepancies in this. Kennedy realized that he couldn't be elected without the support of the Southern Democrats, and Lyndon Johnson was very popular among the Southern Democrats. Now there are rumors that obviously Johnson the Kennedys didn't want to choose Johnson, but Kennedy asked Johnson to be his running mate. And so, of course, there are some people who are saying that Lyndon Johnson teamed up with the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Samuel Rayburn, to pressure Kennedy to favor Johnson. And then, of course, there's a lot of other discrepancies with John Kennedy's brother saying that he was something else happened, and then all that stuff. But anyway, and there's also a rumor that John Kennedy just asked Lyndon Johnson out of politeness, and he expected Johnson to decline the offer, but Johnson accepted, and it's a big mess. There's a lot of different accounts about this. But anyway, a funny thing is that Evelyn Lincoln, who was John Fitzgerald Kennedy's secretary, she says that actually the reason Kennedy selected Johnson was because Lyndon Johnson had some dirt on John Kennedy. And so Lyndon Johnson knew about John Kennedy's womanizing. And so John Kennedy acquiesced to Lyndon Johnson's demands. So Lyndon Johnson's, I guess he must have threatened to reveal John Kennedy's womanizing if John Kennedy didn't choose him as his running mate. So that's apparently how Lyndon Johnson became the running mate. But anyway, that's pretty interesting. But anyway, I'm saying anyway a little too much. But when Lyndon Johnson became the vice president, naturally he was worried that he wouldn't have much power because vice presidency is not the most effective position. So he wanted to transfer the duties of the Senate Majority Leader, so the job that he had, he wanted to transfer the duties of the Senate Majority Leader over to the vice presidency, since the vice president is the president of the Senate. But the Democratic caucus disagreed with that. So that was not successful. So Senate Majority Leader, now Vice President Lyndon Johnson, Senate Majority Leader Lyndon Johnson, who was now Vice President Lyndon Johnson, he wanted to increase his influence in the executive branch. So he personally drafted an executive order, which would grant Vice President Lyndon Johnson general supervision over national security. And it would force all government agencies to fully cooperate with Vice President Lyndon Johnson in carrying out assignments. Now, obviously, President Kennedy refused to sign it, and he sort of gave Johnson the middle finger by signing a non-binding letter that allowed Johnson to review national security policies instead. So basically just a big middle finger to Johnson and saying, well, no power, just symbolic stuff. And Johnson just made a lot of requests. And I think he also wanted to have an office adjacent to the Oval Office and full-time vice presidential staff and all that. And Kennedy refused everything. And just a lot of attempts to grab power. And of course, things went on and on and on, and then of course, Lyndon Johnson became the president upon the sudden passing of John Kennedy, where he was assassinated. And then when Johnson was sworn in, shortly after Kennedy's demise, he made the effort to rush over to Washington, D.C., which was seen as a power grab, but he just became president. So obviously he would have to go back to the Capitol. So I don't see how that's a power grab. He literally just became president because the president died. Anyway. Yeah, and then of course, Lyndon Johnson worked with the Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court, Chief Justice Earl Warren, on another Warren Commission to investigate the assassination of Kennedy. And there was his presidency. Anyway, a shorter video, I could go on, but I don't have much time today, so we'll leave it there. But I would encourage you to look more into Lyndon Johnson because he got some great things passed and of course did some horrible foreign policy things as well. But I would encourage you to look more. I mean, yes, this video should have been longer, but I don't have much time today, so that's it.